Hi, my name is Newell Davis with Wormiculture, and today we're going to go over a different way of feeding that I've done before. I don't think I've shown this, but it's called top feeding. And it sometimes works, it sometimes doesn't. I think I tried it in my new worm bin, and it did not work well at all. So here it is at one of my more established bins. It's actually my big 35-gallon trash bin. And I have to say, it works really well in here, but you have to make sure the food is ground up really well and ready to be consumed by the microbes and your worms. So let's go to the bin and take a look here and see what you guys think. So we're going to come over here to my trash can bin that I have. This is a Rubbermaid 35-gallon. This is my master bin, I call it. Now, if you notice actually right here on the top, I did the top feeding. You can see the worms all around it. I find that this material is from my juicer. So it is dry. Now I do have a fruit fly in there. There we go. I think you can see it now. Right over there, there's a fruit fly. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. I do find that the fruit flies do not congregate as much when I do this because this bin has so many worms in it that it just doesn't matter. Now this time I actually am finding, and they've slowed down a little bit, so I don't know if it's because of the temperature. It's been a little colder lately here. But as you can tell here, there's lots of worms in this area. And actually, I'm going to dig up right here real quick. See, I'm going to turn it over a little bit and see how many worms are in here. And there's more fruit flies in here too. So, but it's a little bit different in here. And what I'm doing here is I do a top feeding to try to bring the worms to the surface. And then what they do is they actually rotate the food around instead of just having it deep down in. They'll bring it up to the surface. They'll take it back down underneath. So if you dig down in here, let me dig down a bit. I keep a lot of material in here, so you can see that there's still worms down here, even though there's really no food. If I can get down here, let's just see here. All right, see, here we go. Whole bunch of worms right over there. Even though there's no real food at this level, it's because they're coming up to the surface, grabbing food, and heading back down, and they keep moving all through the bin. This helps you take off a huge layer, a huge chunk of stuff in here that will be gone because the worms will eat it all. So I mean, here's this nice rich material right here that'd be perfect for your gardens and pots and things like that. So that's what you get when you kind of spread it out a bit. Now this bin I use more for as you can see on the cardboard when I had it closed, this says master. This is the bin that I used to get all my worms out of to start any other bins, or when those bins are done, I'll dump the worms back in here. And this is where I tend to take out all my material from. Even on like the smaller 10-gallon bins, I will dump it in here, and I'll get it out through the bottom down here, and I'll let it go through this bin again to make sure everything is consumed by the worms. That way I'm just getting out just the castings or, you know, the compost, depending on the way you're looking at it. So this bin is doing really well, but the top feeding, this time I had some fruit flies, but still not too bad. And I don't know if those were from opening one of my other bins and they kind of found their way in here. So, but there's an advantage to top feeding. They gets the worms moving through the material up and down instead of always burying it down and never really having them touch the top. And this way it also gets the microbes moving everywhere too, because the more microbes you have, the more food you have. The microbes are what the worms eat really, not the food itself. And that's the key, is to make sure that there's microbes all throughout your bin so they can constantly consume food and multiply. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit short this week, but if you have any questions, please post a comment and ask, because I need more content to provide. I can't just keep making videos based on observations I've made, and I always like answering questions. So please ask questions if you have any. Thank you. Bye.